Good evening. Welcome to WSBI, your resource for success podcast program, where you get to meet inspiring women-owned businesses from across the country. And now, for your host, Kimberly Macklemore.
All right, good evening and welcome to WSBI, your resource for success podcast program, where you get to meet inspiring women-owned businesses from across the country. I am your host, Kimberly Macklemore. Welcome to a special edition of tonight's show. With us, we have Arthur Brown, founder of Impact to Success and author of Chase Purpose, Not Profit. Singer, songwriter, and film producer Arthur Brown, with no experience, he started his company, Impact to Success, speaking and telling his testimony of faith worldwide on stages and radio, reaching millions of millennials and young adults. He was able to start his own film production brand called Chase Purpose Production. Through Impact to Success with no experience, he was able to film from his iPhone and an app around his city in Raleigh, North Carolina, and generated over $25,000 in less than a year to just jumpstart his production company using no equipment. Now his company has impacted social media with over 50,000 views and counting, and over 50,000 in sales. Today, his mission is to teach his master classes to aspire knowledge to others on how to market yourself through 7 key principles, revealed in his newest book, Chase Purpose, Not Profit. So now, without any further ado, please welcome to my platform, Mr. Arthur Brown. How you doing, Arthur?
Wow.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. Hello.
Okay, I lost you for a second there.
Yeah, I'm still here. I was looking at that. I was listening. Bye.
Hello? Arthur,
Yeah.
we're losing you. We're losing you.
I'm here.
Okay.
I got you, but can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Mm-hmm.
I hope you can hear me clear.
Yes.
You good?
Yes.
Awesome. You're still here. You're live. I heard everything. Just making sure you're good. So I thank you. I'm so honored to be on your show. How are you? How are you feeling?
I am doing great. I'm excited to have you on tonight. We have so much to talk about and so much to reveal this evening on this platform to all the listeners. But before we get started, what I would love for you to do is just tell the listeners a little bit more about yourself.
Man, I got you. Thank you so very much. So as you heard from the intro I'm not a videographer. I'm a filmmaker. I started to do this from just my iPhone and an app, just using artificial intelligence, really studying the wave of technology. So, it said 50,000 in sales, and I'm sure we're at 6 figures by now. And we're just pretty much building. We just pretty much help a lot of people's platforms. This passion happened, when I just had to really learn how to market myself. Just learning how to do entrepreneurship, stepping into a new world in this new day and age we live in. So I just found a passion to help folks. So yeah, I pretty much started this about 4 or 5 years ago. And I just really want to tell people about, chasing your purpose, a dream, not so much money, not so much profit, not so much the things we do with accolades and titles that we can get from the world, but what's really in you. So that's pretty much what my passion is. And I'm just super excited to just continue to keep on sharing it all around the world. Thank you.
All right. Well, we're excited to hear more about it. So just I'm going to backtrack a little bit. Tell us your story. What truly inspired you to start this business? How did you get involved in becoming this amazing film production person? And now you've got, you're an author, you've got all the things going on, but what really inspired and what really happened in order for you to get to where you're at today?
Well, pretty much I didn't have a passion for it because I graduated from, Leesville Road High School. I was planning to go to school to do business and marketing, and I also wanted to do military. So I was trying to do military ROTC at NC State, and I also was trying to do business and marketing at Wake Tech, but I didn't have filming in mind. So I didn't really have a passion for military, so I returned my equipment, and that didn't work out. College didn't work out either because I was just sitting there and I didn't really have a passion for filming. So then eventually I just started working regular 9-to-5 jobs, just like most people get 2 part-times or a main time or whatever you want to do just to make ends meet for the month. And I realized I didn't have a passion for that either, just sitting there working a job. So then eventually I started to make bad decisions on my own. I just wanted to get more money, wanted to get more things in life. So I just started to steal money. I didn't really have a passion for just working. I felt like a failure for not finishing school. I felt like, not doing the military vision, family didn't really look at me the same. And so I just felt like I fell into a personal depression. So that's what pushed me to filming when I fell into an encounter, when I got in trouble for stealing money at my previous employer job. And that really scared me, because when you can't get a job when you have a criminal record and you have to fill out a job application that says, have you been convicted of a felony or a misdemeanor? And when you have to check yes, that kind of is scary for that person at any job. So when, after a couple years and 2 years of probation, I had to sit back and really sit in my room and say, well, what can I do that I can do right here from my house or right here from my hands that'll help me, serve me, pay bills, help others, and really keep me aligned with God and my purpose. And God gave me a phone, and a cracked iPhone 6 is how it started, and a broken selfie stick. We had I think it was a duct tape selfie stick that I used as a tripod, and it was a cracked iPhone 6. And I started my business off of that, and it was started as Arthur Brown Productions, but then I later turned it into Chase Purpose Productions, and that's how it started. I never clocked in after 2016. I didn't punch a clock again. It's pretty much been God sustaining me in my garden through my falls, through my mistakes. So that's pretty much where the passion came of filming. I didn't have it in mind, but God had it in mind. So it just all fell in line for my purpose where He's taking me today.
Well, I tell you what, that is a heck of a story, okay? Because to hear you bring that all out, like most people don't realize that we're not perfect. When they see us, they see nothing but the shell. They think, oh, your life is so perfect. They see you all over, the videos and things. And people don't understand that there's a lot of things that we go through. Now, obviously, you just talked about the fact that what you did to yourself. What made you truly decide that you weren't good enough and that you felt like you had to make money quicker? Is it because you felt you were spoiled or you deserved it? Kind of hone into that, because, a lot of times, we don't always talk about what we've done negatively in order to get to the direction that we're going to in life. But because you brought it up, I really want to kind of focus a little bit on it so that people understand that we normally don't follow the path that God gives us. We always try to follow our path, and then we can see sometimes where we fall off on those paths.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. The spirit of comparison. Everybody else's child was in college. Everybody else was in a university. Everybody else had an apartment. Everybody else had a car. Everybody else had a good job. Here I am sitting home. I dropped out of college, NC State, where everybody else that was good. Then I dropped out of Wake Tech, where most of us online know about our getting community colleges and just doing what we got to do at a community college. But I dropped out of that. Now I'm working a job, and not even a good job. I'm working a bare minimum $7.50, $8 job. So here I am depressed. And then I'm looking at everybody else around me, and I'm thinking, God, why me? I thought military was the thing, and it didn't work out. I thought having college was the thing. It didn't work out. I thought maybe doing my own business and marketing, trying to do 5 Links, network marketing company I had started in, and that didn't work out. Wasted all my money on that, Amway, Costco, Vacation, all these little network marketing. I tried it all, and I realized, okay, why isn't anything working? And so I fell into depression. And when you fall into depression, praying about it doesn't work. Going to church just doesn't work. Mama praying for you, that prayers got me here and it floated us through here, our generation here, but it doesn't help us through life. We need an encounter. So I pretty much gotten depressed, and I said, I need some money. And I stole, $14,424.69 within 2 months time span from my previous employer, because I fell into that spirit of, I need to be where I need to be. And God, I appreciate you saying you have a timing for me, but I'm going to do my own way. And then when I caught myself doing my own way, I caught myself facing 39 months in prison, sitting back, scared for my life, looking at God saying, God, do you have a second opportunity and a chance for me?
Wow, that's deep. That is truly deep. And, I'm sitting here listening to what you just said. And the thing that stood out to most to me about what you just said was the fact that it was about I needed this. Why me? Everybody has this. And it wasn't because you had a bad life. It was just because you were being impatient and you were trying things. But obviously those things weren't for you, which was fine. But at the end of the day, it got to the point where things were just happening. Like you said, you wanted to just do it your way. And then the end result was that you absolutely had to face reality. And that reality is deep. And, the hurt that you went through and the depression that you went through. And I think the hardest part that, the younger generations of today, they put so much pressure on young people, to stand up and to do more and to be more. And we live in a society where it's all about instant gratification. And hearing your story was about instant gratification. But the thing that I love is that you obviously have revealed yourself. You've obviously allowed God to be a part of your life in the right way, and allowed the individuals who loved you enough to say, to hear them out and make you realize that, what you did was bad, but you had to go hit rock bottom in order to realize what you really already had.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why my passion is chasing purpose, not profit. Look at everything that I just said. I'm chasing school. That's degrees to get a better job, to get more money. That's profit. I'm chasing military ROTC to be a second lieutenant, because that's later on profit. That's, here I am working a job trying to get here and there. I'm working 2 and I was working 3 at one point, trying to work all these hours. You're chasing profit. God is saying, why don't you slow down and chase purpose? Everybody got this thing backwards. I'm trying to tell people, get off of trying to chase this next dollar, the next company, the next whatever you're going to do to get the profit. Can you leave profit absolutely out of the conversation for one day with God and you? That's what he did with me. He said, can you stop trying to be like everybody else, like you just said, with my spirit of comparison and me I was too impatient. Can you just slow down? And I order the steps of a good man or woman. So can you just listen to what I have for you? That's why I got this thing. Chase purpose, not profit, not money, not a degree, not intellect. I think there's something in every human being, like he put it in me, that I didn't know. Like you said, later on revealed, I had to go through it. He said it was good that you were afflicted, because had you not been afflicted, you wouldn't have known all this, intelligence that you're doing with filming and the speaking and the books and all these things that I'm doing today for people. But I had to fall into that depression encounter. And then he had to knock me off my beast, Apostle Paul, on my way to the road to Damascus. And I did not know that I was headed to 39 months in prison, and could have been getting off in 2018, and could have had my life in a hole. I could have been dead. I could have been gone. But instead, he had a different plan for me. So I'm all about this chasing purpose, not profit theme. And it's not to say, like this one girl I had an interview with the other day. I said, what do you think about the title of my book, Chase Purpose, Not Profit? She said, BS. I said, BS. She said, no offense. It sounds like BS. How can you chase your purpose without funding it? You need money to fund your purpose.
But if you don't understand your purpose, you can't get the profit if you don't know your purpose.
Hello.
Preach, okay? You can't get the profit without knowing the purpose. And that's the thing I love about what you just said. People have it twisted. They have it backwards. Everybody wants to chase a dollar. That dollar can last for a second.
Get it. Exactly. And that's why I love it, because she didn't understand, and nor did my boss, who at my last job in 2016, when he said my book sounds deceiving, because once again, he said, you got the book, $25 that you're going to charge the people, and they're going to give you the $25 for the money. So you're going to get the profit off the book. No one's thinking about the purpose of behind the book. No one saw facing 39 months in prison. No one saw I couldn't get a job at Chuck E. Cheese or Venture Landing. I couldn't work for myself. No one saw that I was about to die in my car because I got set up at gunpoint by friends around me that I'm in the wrong gangs. No one saw me around the wrong crowds in this book, from the book. They think I'm trying to have this for your money, for your 25. No, I want to feed the next soul, to not make dumb decisions, and stealing and lying and running with the wrong friends and people. This is what the purpose of me writing the book was for, not for your profit. God had already sustained me. So I'm having to teach my bosses that fired me, friends around me, culture, people who don't get it, regular society. It's not normal to them. All their life, mama was working a good job. Daddy and grandma and great-grandma was working for the white man, working for a good government job. Everybody has been trained. Chase the dollar, chase money. So here I come talking about chase purpose, not profit. They're like, hold on. The one that stole $14,000 is trying to tell me chase purpose? Please, the one that was chasing the money, try to now tell me to chase what's in me? Please, he's fraud. He's fraud. So they don't need to listen to me. But I got 6 figures and you don't. And I've never clocked in. I don't even have an LLC. I don't have a trademark. I don't have a website. I don't have everything that everybody else has. But I was able to make the profit by my purpose following me. The profit chased me. But they don't get it, though.
I hear you. But that's the problem with the world we live in today, because everybody is told, go get an education and go out here and make money. It's never the other way around until you really start to understand who you are. And a lot of people will say to you, I've heard it said to me, well, I don't have a purpose. We all have a purpose. What? There's a reason why we're here today. There's a reason why we're doing. Sometimes we just don't want to challenge ourselves enough to face what it is. And it's easy to sit back. It's much easier to sit back and just have a simple life. and just things, be easy. And then, hey, it's okay. It's an okay life. But are you really truly living through the lens of your own? Are you living through the lens of others? And for somebody to sit there and I must say, be so ignorant enough to think that purpose is not important. I don't get it, because we all know that there are millions of people out here who have tons of money, but they're not happy because they're not living their true purpose, because they're so caught up into the dollars that they're not happy. We know money is a necessity, but at the same time, anytime you're out here so depressed, and there's so many people who are losing their lives because they're not happy.
Exactly. My man called me and blew me off and threw me off on the best question a client called her randomly. He said, "Man, I'm watching your platform and your theme, and I'm seeing, man," he said, "I got millions, but I don't got purpose." That hurt me. That hurt me, because you know how many people are out here trying to chase millions and they don't have purpose, and they think that that's the better plan than what's in them. So many people don't understand. I ask people, okay, why do you think that out of 3 million option sperm cells in your mom and your dad when you and your mother was conceiving you, why do you think you were the first one to make it to your mother's womb? 1 cell out of 3 million. And then when you got here, do you think now that you're a winner, now that you're chosen, now that you are called by God, handpicked, do you think that Jesus Christ of Nazareth died on the cross for you to go work a 9-to-5 job your whole life for a purpose, just to pay the rent? Is that why you think you're here? You've never once sat down and thought, I don't need to chase purpose no more. I don't need to chase profit no more. I'm going to actually chase purpose. I'm going to actually see why he called me forth and knew me in my mother's womb before my mother even named me. I want to know what's in me. And no one has decided, because this whole world is, I got to get $1. I got to get paid. I got to get this. I got to keep up with the Joneses, that no one decided to see what God actually planted in them. So when I asked the young lady, I said, so what do you love to do for free? I said, this is how I'll help you. I said, for the lady who said it sounds like BS, I said, let me help you. I said, for you, I said, what do you love to do? I said, I notice you're walking dogs. She said, I'm walking dogs because I just do this for free for my friend. I said, bingo. Do you not know there's someone that will pay you thousands of dollars to walk their dogs all around the neighborhood, but you're just doing this for free? And I know you got a full-time 9-to-5 job you're working out elsewhere besides just doing this for free. So that's purpose right there, if you loved it. I asked her, what else do you have a passion for? She said, I love to play sports. I love to dance. See, bingo. All of these things you can start making money off of. I don't care if you're selling a t-shirt for $20 or your paintings for a couple of dollars, or if you love drawing, or if you do hat knitting, you can profit. Like I tell everyone, there's something in you that you're good at. Don't you sit there and think that you need to wait for the money to fund yourself when God has already funded you.
Preach, boy. I'm telling you. I just love having this opportunity to have this conversation with you, because like you said, the world we live in is all about making the dollar. How are you going to make that dollar? How are you going to make that dollar? And that is the reason why people are very miserable. And that's the same thing, being an author or whatever the business that you're in. A lot of people don't understand that it's great to be who we are as authors and, business owner, entrepreneurs. But how do you get past that? What is it that you want besides saying, hey, I'm a best-selling author, I have the best book, or I have the best business, or I have the best chick? It's so people don't really sit back and think about that. And it's funny because, in business, things change so much, and the technology changes so much. Everything around us is constantly growing and moving. You have to really, truly sit down and look and reach deep inside yourself. I constantly find myself always going back and reassessing myself, saying, what am I doing wrong? Where do I need to relook? God, guide me in the right direction. Show me the vision that you see, because I'm not seeing it right now. It's that constant conversation you have to have with yourself.
Yeah, renewing of the mind. That's all God asks you to do every day. And I always tell people, so since we do live in a millennial technology, new day and age world, we need to fill the gap. The older generation needs to blend and mix with the younger generation, and the younger generation has to be humble enough, and so is the older generation, to be able to have pride get out of the way. I know that some people say, well, I've been doing this for 20 years in marketing. I got experience, but then I come with a social media a degree that says I know how to market past what they taught you in class. Your professors couldn't talk you about no apps. Your professors back then didn't teach you about all this new artificial intelligence. So what I'm teaching is a new way wave. So maybe you might have to be receptive to new knowledge so that you can learn a new thing. And then guess what? After I teach you the new wave, you can feed me the knowledge and the wisdom that you know about the industry that I'm in or the industry that you're partnered with. Like, I think young people and older people have to be able to listen to each other. You teach the older people how to do this, and the younger people got to teach the older people how to do this. And we just got to work together and bridge this gap. Everybody's not working together. Everybody's keeping their old method. The main thing I get from most people is, I'm okay. I already have everything done. I already got my own videographer. I've already got my own this, and I already got my own that. And they wave me straight off, and then they end up going down the path with wrong people. And it's just like, I want you to be able to focus on know how to blend this. It's okay to, it's not like I learned in the Bible. It said, when Jesus Christ has risen from the Bible, it always says Mary and Mary Magdalene all ran to go get Peter and the other disciple. We all heard Peter and the other disciple. I always heard that in the Bible throughout everything. But you got to know the other disciple was John the Baptist, which was a 17-year-old. So when Peter is running towards Jesus, the promise, he got tired and couldn't run the full way. So here come the 17-year-old, the other disciple, who ran to the door first and got there before you. So there's going to be some people that, like disciples, that got to team up with. Maybe the older generation can't run as quick to get there, but you did. They taught you the knowledge, they gave you the wisdom, and you got to the door. But then I also noticed that when John the Baptist, the other disciple, got to the door, he didn't go in because he was confused. We can build stuff so fast and don't know what we're doing. And sometimes we can do stuff so quick that he had to wait on Peter to come with the wisdom by the time he got there to say, hold on, let me go in and show you. No, he's not gone. The clothes are folded. Jesus is not here. He's risen. He had gave him knowledge what the young man or the younger generation didn't know. So what that example tells me to tell the generation that I'm talking to is saying, sometimes there's going to be things where we got to run in for each other, but I don't need to get to the door before you and then speak like I am you and act like I know more than you and all the arrogance and cockiness that this younger generation is bringing. That's not what we need to do. We need to get there first so we can do or help or be there, but then wait on it for the knowledge of someone to come in and feed us what we don't know, a professor or a school or an entrepreneur event or somebody who is in that area or arena that you're in, just wait on it. But everybody's not trying to work together everybody knows about Apostle Paul and his Timothy, and everybody has to have somebody like Peter, John, and James. Jesus needed to have your 2 on the side, separate from your 12, separate from your 72 or your 5,000. You need to have some people this whole conversation on towards the middle end of this is just making sure that we really blend. How can we blend? Everybody knows, you just said it earlier, how to work a job, how to work full time, chasing the money. How can we blend this generation and these younger kids who are chasing the next dollar too? How can we blend our knowledge? Y'all's wisdom said it, bestsellers and books and accolades. But how can we focus on, instead of being so impressed with what we've done and what I can do and what me and self can do, how can we chase on purpose and, share others? Like, somebody needs to know what's in them. If you don't tell somebody what's in them, then you've missed out on the purpose of you living for God. You have to unlock souls.
That's right.
So yeah, they see that you're a bestseller and they see that you're doing engagements and they see that you're out in tours and stuff. So are you opening and unlocking souls and helping them get up? Or are you reaching? Or are you just, So it's just a levels to this. That's why I love my ministry. I'm not talking to nobody about a profit at all this whole interview. I didn't mention money at all about chasing all this bags. And you got to get the right 3 people and you got to invest the right money. Put off this. I didn't need none of that. And I already know off the rip, a lot of you all from the bio, are looking like, man, $50,000 or what is it, $25,000 to start my business, but then make over $50,000 in sales. Most people can't even make $10,000 in their own business from just their self. So it's hard to talk numbers, and that's why I don't want to go that route. I only want to talk to y'all about what's in you, because then the numbers will come later. That's why I want to focus on that. That's
and you're right.
Important.
And you're absolutely right, because that's the big thing, coming into business, people automatically assume that, I open my doors, everybody's going to come. And like you said, it's not about the purpose or reason why they came into business. It starts out that way, but then it gets to that greediness quickly because everybody wants to make $1. Oh, we got to make our return on investment. And we all talk a lot that way when we're in business, because we feel we've invested so much into what we're doing. Now here's where the hard work truly comes into play. But then, like you said, once you start to lose that understanding of what your real purpose is, or why you came into that business, or why you wrote that book, or why you are a songwriter or a dancer, or whatever it is you are doing, and you start to lose that, then that's when everything else goes to the side. And that's why I was saying that you truly do have to go back and reassess yourself. And you've said the same thing over and over. And, and when you don't do that, when you don't realize that you are the problem, then that's when you suffer. That suffer can become very deep and it can be very hurtful, and you can find yourself, going downhill very quickly. But, now the thing I did like about what you just said is the fact that the younger generations and the older generations have to constantly mend together. They have to come together because our knowledge base is great, and we can continue to still learn, but we're held on what we learned 20, 30 years ago. And now we have to move into this newer technology generation is what I call it, because it's really all about the technology. And even for me, being in my 50s, it was something I had to learn. I have a son that's in his 30s. So it's like, if I didn't have that opportunity to blend with him, to realize that, oh my God, these are all these things that I haven't known. Because when I started computers, it was like back in 1984. I can remember being in the military and actually working on my first computer. It was crazy. I never knew what a computer was. I knew how to type because we had automatic type. So I'm definitely showing my age at this point, right? Because y'all are like, what's an automatic typewriter?
I know what an automatic typewriter is. Oh, for sure. I know what you're talking about.
But there are a lot of young people who don't understand that these are the things that we were provided with, and that as you continue to grow and you live, Lord allows you to live and continue to learn these lessons and realize that there's so much more that you have to learn, and that those opportunities are always there. And so now this kind of helps me go into the next segue into how you and I are actually doing some things together. And this is that whole purpose of realizing that we have the young and the old, because people think even though I'm in my 50s, that's considered old, which really it isn't. But anyway, that's usually, it's like, that's what I hear all the time. Well, that 50 is old. I'm like, no, it's not. But anyway, that is truly a segue of what you're talking about, is how two different generations are actually going to be working together and doing things together to help the success of each of us. So let's dive into a little bit about what we have coming up on Saturday. We have some amazing, for those who don't know, and for those who did not understand that, yes, I'm an author as well. And we have an amazing author, a sip and sign author book signing and networking coming up on Saturday from 5 to 8 down in Manhattan, New York. And the thing that's really amazing about this event, I have 5 amazing best-selling authors that are going to be with me there. I'm an award-winning author, but I wanted to have an opportunity to give everybody something special. And my dear friend here, Mr. Arthur Brown, is going to make a big impact to this success over this event. So it's not about just the people coming in and meeting and networking and people purchasing our books, what we are absolutely excited about, and we want to see everybody there who can make it. We're hoping to see people who are coming from DC, Philly, and all the New Yorkers there, and all the other surrounding areas, New Jersey. We hope to all see you come in and pack the house for us, but there's a purpose of what we're doing. So why don't you tell a little bit about what we're looking at doing and how your business has combined and is going to be helping what I'm doing.
Well, it's amazing because you're already helping so many people up off their feet. So many people helping write their books, helping be in the lane that you're in, that you have so many amazing authors that are first starting out. And so what you're doing by putting events together, bringing them all together, networking them all together, having your vendors and your tables and your business cards and your books and your best dressed self and all these cool things out. I want to sit there and bring my business with productions. What I do when I come and do a film, I always tell people there's a difference between just videographers. Videographers come, they set up lots of camera equipment and lights, and they look really cool, like they're going to do a lot of great things, and they don't really do as much. What I don't use is no equipment. I don't use any cameras or computer software system or anything. I just use my cell phone. I try to teach artificial intelligence. That's where we're headed in this new day and age of technology, as you say, we're headed in. And what I notice is I can take my film production skills and take my crowds and the angles and just different things as regarding lights and sound effects and other things that will make things such a 3D dimensional thing for the authors who are just now coming out, who don't have to look as average or the same or not have game changer content in this social media. Anything can go viral world. Why not it be your viral video? You never know. But if you don't have your content available, I'm here to blend that. So what I'm going to do is going to be able to mend this with the authors out there. They're going to be able to have all their equipment, all their stuff there, and we're going to be able to just production it out and film it out, have everybody mic'd up, all this audio, and it's going to be so clean and cool, and it's going to be really fun because it's going to really show these authors that maybe I'll get a chance for when, after events like this that you put together, one, to be inspired to have a platform like yours, to be able to help others up. That's what you're doing. And then second, they'll be able to have engagements to go out to other events and other speaking and other book signings and other conferences and mega fests. And maybe Oprah might call it. Maybe T.D. Jakes might have you on. You never know where you're headed when people like you bless other people like this with productions and platforms, and you open up your whole entire platform to bring in other people. And, you know, they're flying in, they're driving in, and they're coming in on hopes of, man, maybe I hope this can be something as a, you know, a blessing from God or something to increase the purpose of why they're here. And then look at what you're doing. You're bringing them out. And so I'm super excited that I want to be a blessing behind that to help them out even further beyond just the building, beyond just being in one room. We can now leave and have something and go off, and we all have an experience and encounter that's going to go crazy on this $2.7 billion industry of internet, you know, where everybody's online right now. So we're going to drop that, and we're going to hope for, you know, many blessings. That's what I'm praying for. So I'm excited to partner with you to really have a surprise for these amazing authors coming for the Sip and Sign.
But yeah, it's going to be exciting. I'm just, like I said, ecstatic about it. And for those who are still truly interested in coming, you know, we still have some tickets available. And even if you don't get your ticket now, you can also just walk through the door and come in and purchase your ticket there and come and meet these people. You know, it's an amazing network event as well as a book signing. And these ladies and gentlemen have worked so hard to get to this point. So, you know, supporting them is what it's about. They all have purpose. Every single one of their stories are amazing. You guys are going to be overwhelmed with just what you learn from people in that room that day. And then, of course, it would be remiss for me not to mention my sweetheart, Miss Kiana Williams, who is the CEO of Goddess Media New York, and she is the co-producer of this event. Without her, this venue would not be available, and we would have not had the opportunity to do what we're doing. So please support us. You can go to authorsipandsign.eventbrite.com and get your tickets now. They're $20. If you come to the door, they're $25. There will be great hors d'oeuvres available. I will be handing out my number one book, which is also the award-winning book. I will be signing for free. So come and make sure you meet me and get your copy of that. So, you know, like I said, and also just come and support everybody else. But let's get back to what we're talking about with you, and then because we're getting close to the end of the show. And author, you know, talk to us just a little bit more. I want to learn a little bit more about your book, Chase Purpose, Not Profit. Now, you have 7 key principles. Just name a couple of those principles out of that book.
Okay, 7 key principles I'll name. We got job versus you. It's just a simple conversation. That's going to be one of my key principles. Job versus you. And we're just talking. How are you on the job? What are you making on the job? How do you feel on the job? Do you have a deadline or a date on the job? You know, just we're talking. Second key principle is mindset versus you. Now, in order for me to shift you from leaving this place or a building like I had to learn, in order for me to do that, you got to be in a certain mindset to be able to leave, to be able to have that faith to leave a job that you know is your security. And it's almost like we sometimes make the mistake to making our job our God. So I want to talk to you about your mindset versus you. So we got job versus you, mindset versus you, and then I'll give you one more out of the 7. Okay. I have action versus scared mode. Some of us are stuck right here. We're entrepreneurs. I got the website. I got the .com, a .org. I got everything. I got the logo. I got the trademark. I'm so ready. got the product. Everything is ready. I'm here, but I'm a little nervous-sided. I'm nervous and scared at the same time. I'm excited and scared at the same time. I don't know if I do got it or if I don't got it. And then we talk a little bit about this. And I'm telling you, these are some key principles that are in my master classes as well, that'll also be in my book as well. But these are just going to be things that I'm just talking. And in my book is pretty much a journey of showing you my life of how I kind of did things and how I had to readjust things in my life and hug my boss when they fired me and told me no more for corporate America. I had to really go by faith and really say, okay, God, how can we make this thing work?
Right. But I like what you said. It's all about you. It's this against you. It's so it's really, it's not about pointing the fingers at anybody else. It's all based on you, because you're absolutely right. Mindset is everything. If it's one thing to say that you're ready to do something, but it's another huge thing to do is to actually take that step. And that's always the scariest part, because I have people ask me all the time, well, should I get up and quit my job? Well, okay, you got to sit down and think about everything that you're doing now ain't going to just get up and leave just because you decide to quit your job. So, you got to think these things out. And it's amazing how many people don't do that. I could tell them bills are going to continue to come. Your lifestyle is going to continue to be there. So you have to sit back and think, how do you balance this out? Is it smart for you to get up and walk away and just not have any type of plan? No, it's not.
Exactly.
But that's not saying you can't live your dreams, but you have to decide what is going to be best. But it, like I said, it's just those little things that when you know people aren't really truly ready to make that step, but they also need to just prepare themselves better and think more. I always tell people, having a business plan, people hate to hear the word business plan, but it's an evolving document for yourself. It's not for anybody else. It's for your purpose to sit down and lay out what it is that you want for your business, for your career, for your self-purpose of growing. I mean, it amazes me. If I sit here, I could call somebody right now and ask them, what are your bills? You'd be surprised when people say, I don't know what my bills are for the month. If you don't know what your monthly bills are, how are you going to handle the bills?
What? Right. Come on now.
I mean, it's those little things that sometimes are taken for granted, because a big part of it is that we are used to having that consistency of having, the money just come in, and people don't really prepare themselves to think about that job may not always be there as well. You don't have to do anything wrong to be let go of these days. It's the reality that we live in. So, I love what you are offering, and I love how you're making people rethink their purpose in life and rethink the reality of what it means to not just chase the money. It's not just all about the profit, because all of that can come and go. So what's going to happen when that profit doesn't maintain itself? Are you still going to live your purpose? Are you still going to chase that dream, or are you just going to sit back and say, well, I don't know what to do? So, what you are offering, it's mind blowing, because I just love the twist to it, because most people are not going to think that way, because we're not taught to think that way. I said, from the time you're brought into this world, you're taught to do one thing: get an education, get a job. Get an education, get a job,
Exactly.
So, it's understood, each generation is different. Each generation has grown. And now we're in that generation of young people who are looking at things in a whole different, platform. They're saying, hey, I don't need to go to college. Nothing wrong with getting a degree. Nothing wrong with all of that. Nothing wrong with not having one. But what are you going to do in order to get beyond survival? Well, how is your purpose going to be, living for yourself, not for others? What are you going to do? And those are the things that you have to sit back and, like you said, have those conversations with yourselves. And you are absolutely providing that.
Yeah, absolutely. I got to thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So before we get off this show, I really hate to even let you go. I'm sitting there like, we can talk probably for hours, but we obviously know we're not going to do that. But before you go, please tell everybody how they can get a hold of you and reach out to you, and provide your social media stuff, and of course your website information.
Absolutely. This was so fun. This was my outlet. I really wanted to come in and just really speak out. And so I thank you for letting me be an outlet to your audience. This is such an amazing show for what you're doing, everything you're doing. And for sure, if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, you guys can follow me at impact, 2, in the word success. And you guys can also visit my website. It's called impact, 2, in the word success.org. So you guys can be available to check out my newest book coming out, Chase Purpose, Not Profit, so you can hear about my journey and my story and how I developed my lifestyle. You are available to get any apparel gear. We just had a Fitness of Faith out. We also have master classes. Of course, you just heard 7 key principles we have, but you just heard 3 of them. We have more I'd love for you to check out. And then, of course, my PR services, if you guys need any social media branding. Other than that, you guys, I'm super excited to come out and speak to any functions, come out or conferences, just to share this wealth to the generations, or the older or younger, just the youth period, or anyone just having that knowledge of purpose. I know everybody's brainwashed to chase that money, and that's what we've been taught. But thank you so very much, you all. Once again, it's impact, 2, in the word success. You guys, thank you.
All right. Well, Arthur, it has been such a blessing and a pleasure to have you on my show this evening. I am so looking forward to seeing you in a couple of days. And of course, once that book drops, I'm definitely going to have you back on the show, but I'm going to have you on the other show, the Author's Corner show. So be prepared for that in 2020. And so for everyone else, I would like to also let you know, if you are ready to be on my show and you have a desire to come and be interviewed and you want to tell people your story, please reach out to me at Kimberly@WSBILLC.com, or you can find me at KMM123McLemore@gmail.com. Make sure that if you're interested in being a guest on my show in 2020, because I have no slots available for the rest of the year. So for 2020, make sure you send me a short bio. Make sure I get a nice picture of yourself, a professional picture. And then also, I would like to have your business logo. So if you would like to be a guest on my show, those are the things you need to do. Or and if you would like to just send it to me directly through my Facebook page, you're more than welcome to do that at WSBILC. So you will find my business page there on Facebook. You can also reach out to me, like I said, through inbox or either through Gmail. But until next time, I would like to thank you all for listening in. I'll be here every Thursday evening at 7 p.m. right on iHeartRadio. We're also on Spotify. We're on Google. We're on several other platforms. But until next time, you all have a wonderful evening and good night.
Good night, everyone. We will be back next Thursday evening at 7 p.m. Follow us on Spreaker, www.spreaker.com/user/WSBI. View our new WSBI website anytime at www.WSBILLC.com and on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Instagram.